For a lot of people, the CRTC is a very arid topic. It's like a stale body of regulators that basically establishes the rules of broadcasting and telecommunication. But there are some instances, like this one, for example, where the CRTC plays a very active role in defining and, most importantly, modifying the television industry as a whole. I'll give you an example. Over the last few years, the CRTC was collecting a lot of criticisms from the people across the country. They were complaining about this, that, and the other thing. And some other people were basically congratulating the CRTC on this, that, or the other regulations. The CRTC decided back in 2013 and 2014 to organize a massive consultation across the country, basically visiting every province and organizing online forums and whatnot to collect information from citizens about the following theme. How can we make the television industry, television experience, a better one for consumers, both in terms of quality of content, in terms of variety of content, in terms of the prices, obviously, that people must spend to access those content. So at the end of this process that was called Let's Talk TV, CRTC came out with a number of very concrete measures that modified significantly the television landscape in the country and will be for the next 10 to 15 years. Massive changes in the industry. For example, it's now possible for Canadians to subscribe to what we call skinny basic package. Instead of, like you probably experienced a few years back when you were living at home, that the family was subscribing to cable and you'd get 50 channels. Whether you liked it or not, this is the package you were getting. And you were paying for all these 50 channels, different levels of compensation. From now on, CRTC now offers a skinny basic package. You pay $25 basically to enter the cable universe. And any additional channels that you elect to buy is called on a pick-a-pack basis, which means you, for example, would prefer to subscribe to channels 5, 10, and 15, and at the end of the month you'll be charged for those 3 channels only. And your neighbor would be probably leaning towards subscribing to channels 10, 20, and 30 and will be charged accordingly. So this is a significant change. Another significant change is the CanCon. We're no longer obliged to air Canadian programs during the day. We'll give you some more information in the written part of the module. But probably one of the most sensitive issue, without you probably even realizing it, but prior to those changes, when you and I were watching the famous Super Bowl in the winter, end of January, early February, we in Canada did not have access to the American commercials, the famous Pepsi ads and Gillette and you name it, Honda and what have you. Since 2016, CRTC has made it compulsory for Canadians to be able to watch the American advertisements as the Americans do. A significant change now that addresses one of the most sensitive criticisms that the CRTC has been getting over the years. So now this notion of simultaneous substitution, no longer exists, but only for the Super Bowl, because that's the big celebration of television at this time of year. So these are some of the most practical and sort of applied changes that are perceived and affects the way you and I watch television and will be for the foreseeable future. So if you turn to the written part now, you'll get all the play-by-play, if you will, of those changes and the elements that cover it.